Welcome back, everybody. From that short intermission, we're back with our second match of the stream. We're going to have the Buffalo Bolts against the Washington Rebellion here for a second match. And we have the full rosters in here. This is a very exciting matchup. Some of the most well-known and most decorated statistical kind of monoliths of last season in Ramen Bowl are actually on this field, because with that higher salary, you can really build super teams. So this is going to be quite the clash. I know, Chaser, these teams are pretty well ranked in the power rankings.
Yeah, we do have two in the top 10. We've got the Buffalo Bolts sitting at number 2 in the power rankings. They are going to be throwing out Deluxe, Silk, and Gumby on this night. And we have the Washington Rebellion sitting at 6th in the power rankings with Trust, JDab, and Justify. It's going to be a clash of the Titans here.
I'm very excited to see what they'll do. So without further ado, we're just going to throw them right on in to see what damage they can do to this field. We're going to be on Champions Field to start it off, and no more fitting venue to showcase these two teams. This is going to be maybe even a preview of some future playoff matches. So wait for this kickoff to get done with. I just have no predictions, and that's the best way to go into it. And Justify and Deluxe on the kickoff to start us off. To the backboard, JDab taps it down. Gumby with the quick follow. Silk cuts in front to the near post. And JDab will gather into the midfield. JDab trusts two players that play with each other a lot in this team. I'm looking for that chemistry, but someone's got to get up to stop Silk. Buries one early.
Great challenge at midfield from Deluxe. That sets this whole play up. Silk is able to take the nice, easy shot just out of the reach of both Justify and Trust. Good placement on that shot.
That's a very early one. 17 seconds in, and we got our first goal. So Washington has to watch themselves, because this Buffalo team is a very quick team on the rotation. As I'm watching them from Flycam, just the amount of ground they cover is really something to behold, as Silk is going to try and build some more pressure into the corner. Deluxe, no touch there. First chance to break out here. JDab over the top. Silk try to get back, and it's a great touch, but it's not quite out yet. Deluxe, soft touch to the sideline. Trust is actually going to demo one on the way out. Justify is going to try and pick it up from here. That air dribble will be stopped in its space, and Washington going to have to rebuild now with Gumby. Takes it away, and actually potential miscommunication there, but Silk dunks his own teammate.
Looked like Silk was going to go for a bump onto the last man back from Washington. Missed the bump and unfortunately gets the challenge on his teammate instead. So, like you said, a bit unfortunate for the Buffalo Bolts.
By lob, Silk touches it away off the pass attempt. Silk in the midfield. Long shot. It's going to be off target. Trustle's just going to let it roll around. Gumby gets to it first. That's a shot on target. It's going to be saved across. JDab on the follow. Touches it past another one. Dunks it past Deluxe. It's on target. Nope. It's just going to hit that near post. Gumby up the wall, and they're going to try and counter on the air. It's a good air dribble. Straight into the goal, but Justify. It's a good save.
Great job by Justify there, challenging that. The epic save coming out, but now they still have to make the save as Trust makes that one. And man, Washington on the back foot right now. The Bolts are swarming.
And these Bolts are definitely getting these annoying touches, just constantly getting these double taps off the back wall, off the side wall, off the corner, just to keep it weird enough that Washington, that was kind of long booming clears that sometimes you really crave on defense. And Washington, to their own credit, is getting chances, but they are snuffed out. That infield pass not getting through. This pass, though, to Deluxe almost creeps in. It's going to be denied off the crossbar, and Silk takes it past again, but it's just going to be cleared to the sideline by Justify. Trying to build an attack, but Deluxe cuts it out again. Buffalo just snuffing out everything in midfield and might even get more. What a save by Trust to deny a second.
Seems like Trust is low on boost, though, as the boost star is coming out from the Bolts. And just an incredible display from them. Washington looking for the counter here, though.
And the shot, just not enough power. Silk going to take their time down the sideline. Cuts it inside. Good challenge by Justify. Gumby to the back post. Trust high lob. Justify on the chase, but Deluxe was up for it. And this midfield, it's just so suffocating. Every single time the Rebellion feels like they got the play out, it's just going to come right back at them, and that's really not helping, especially with the way that boost starve is coming in, like you mentioned, Chaser.
And now Buffalo's going to have another good chance here, but it's going to be shut down there by Trust. And now got to get to the ball if you're Washington. You're down a goal. You still got a little bit of time, but you got to get there and put the goal. And there's a chance, and it's going to find it. JDab with a great shot.
Fantastic effort by Trust. He knows he's not going to beat him to that, so he just goes a little bit higher, gets that great dunk, and JDab knows all you got to do is just put it on target and hope for the best. And that is the best. 1-1, minute 40 remaining. Washington's back in it, although the shot differential is starting to close. The Rebellion looking to try and take the lead. By lob, that's going to be a good cutout from Justify. Deluxe, brilliant clear down the line, but no one on the chase. Touchdown by JDab. Across the middle. Gumby up for it. Awkward angle. Good drop, but it's off the far post. Rebellion to the sideline. Double tap down the line for Deluxe to gather. Not the best touch. Open shot. Actually, Justify gets the angle. 2-1 Rebellion.
Not sure if Deluxe knew that they were the last person back here, but unfortunately for them, a bad touch leaves the wide open net. Trust just there to make sure the ball goes in, but allows the goal to go in favor for Justify.
I was not expecting that angle. That's a tough shot coming from the angle that Justify was driving in from, but able to angle it in. Trust could go for the goal secure, but allows his team to collect that stat. And he'll just have to wait for his own chance. But they'll take the win if they can hold this right now. 2-1 from the Rebellion, and Buffalo starting to space out a little bit more. You don't see the aggression coming in now that they show that Rebellion can counter that effectively.
The counterattacks have been pretty important. Here's another chance for Washington as they're going to get it back into the middle again, but yeah, I mean, the counterattacks coming in from Washington have been very good. And there's a bump coming in from Trust.
And definitely a lot of physical plays here, a lot of demos. Trust just got 2 in a short span, and now Buffalo's really struggling to get back onto defense and trying to counter. This could be a chance, but Justify good midfield defense now. And that clear from Deluxe is just going to go all the way across. And no one gathers it from Washington. They're just going to let him hit it, but nothing coming of it. Pass across to Justify. It's going to be a giveaway again. But up the line, all these touches burning precious seconds off the clock. And Washington's more than content to just burn down this clock and take a 2-1 win.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, time going off the clock is good as you're Washington. Here's a chance. Great stop there from Trust. But like you said, all those high lobs, all those big clears like this one here are just wasting that time. Buffalo's going to try to keep it up and get the 0 second, though.
It's a good clear off the backboard, and they can't keep it up. Buffalo opened an early lead, but Washington answers back with a mix of physical play and capitalizing on those mistakes.
Tale of two halves in this one, as Buffalo had the pressure and the good challenges in the start of the game, and Washington comes back, gets 2 unanswered, and ties the game up, and then takes the lead with not much time left and just holds it. Very well done. Trust there with 5 saves, playing that solid third person in the rotation. And just, I mean, you see Buffalo with a ton of shots, and just every single time it's being saved out by the Washington defense.
And those familiar with Trust historically in United Rogue, he has been a statistical monster, being able to get a lot of goals for his squad. And this one, you're actually seeing the opposite flip here. You're actually seeing him really keep out a lot of those chances. That really breathtaking goal line save earlier, really the hallmark of that last game. So now with Buffalo seeing their ego bruised a little bit, I would have to say they had a very firm grasp of that game, like you said, in that first half, but let it slip down the stretch. Now that these teams are warm to each other, know what each other is capable of, what will game 2 bring us?
And remember, these teams are both in the top 10 of the power rankings, so it's going to be a battle of the giants no matter what. One team has to lose, so unfortunately, this game, it was Buffalo.
And so now we're going to have to see what they can bring out. Gumby with a great shot, but it's a good save by Justify. A good follow as well off the backboard to be able to clear it, but Washington's still under a bit of pressure as Buffalo's trying to mount up for these long hits. Gumby, pass cut out by JDab, but they'll leave that one for someone else to gather. Silk down the line. Washington's going to try to gather this one. It's just going to flutter down into the sideline. Deluxe hits it in the middle, maybe a pass to Silk, but it's just not going to be able to come out. Justify will be able to tap that one down, but Gumby's still content to continue these passing plays. Trust cuts it out, potentially a 2-on-1, but it's going to be a long chase for Justify. Deluxe gets there a little bit late into the middle. Gumby, not the best touch. JDab, pass to Trust. It's a shot, but it's a great save by Silk. Now the other way, Justify, the last defender, needs to save it, and they do. What a bump dodge there, and a great save off the goal line.
A flurry for both of these teams in either direction, and it's just some exciting Rocket League coming out from these two squads.
it's really just breakneck back and forth. There was about 30 seconds there where there was about 4 counterattacks there back and forth. It's really something to see at this level when you have that much speed. You can't give these players that much space. And right now, Buffalo might be paying for giving them that much. That's a great shot by JDab. Deluxe down the line will be able to save it. Past a second, but JDab, the reliable third, will be able to get that one out before getting bumped by his teammate. The long shot in that one doesn't go in.
Buffalo are going to be kicking themselves on that one. That was a wide open net. And like you said, a team bump. No goal comes of it, though. Still scoreless. We've gone through 2 minutes. It just seems like both these teams are on 100 miles an hour. They neither want to give an inch either.
It's a great save by JDab off the pre-jump. Down the line, Silk cuts it out, but it's a high lob. Gumby up for it quickly and gets a good touch in the ceiling. Silk on the ground, flicks it past one, but not on target. Just going to bounce into the corner. Gumby off the middle, taps it down. JDab with a possession touch to the corner, but Silk quick to it. And a lot of pressure quickly. So many players converging on this ball, but now plays opened up. Justify with the flick, and it's a good save by Gumby. Trust back into the sidewall. Gumby off the back wall, another good clear. And right now it just looks like ping pong with this ball going back and forth. Shots being exchanged and racking up real quick. We're going to see some very interesting statistics, I think, at the end of this series.
It seems like you're going for a lot of solo plays if you're the Rebellion. You should be looking maybe to get some passing plays. It seems to be something that might work, especially in that 2-on-1 situation. It was almost like they weren't even looking for a pass. It was just a shot, and that was all. And an easy save coming out from Silk right here as Washington gets another shot on target.
Just fine. Not the best touch, but he does get the boost steal, which could be crucial for building an attack. But Justify left alone on the back post. Getting back, gets dunked on by Gumby, but Trust quick up for that touch. Deluxe tries to gather, instead gives it away. Trust, long hit, goes for the double. Can they get it? Nope, no touch there. JDab off the bar. Justify, it's a brave third-man challenge, but not off on target. Silk on the counter. Good dunk, but it's off target again. It's just so hard to tell what's going to be happening in this series. It's just so many shots going back and forth, and they're really not even that bad of opportunities. Another one comes in by Silk. That's a save. Gumby uncontested, and that's right down the middle. Finally, we have one here, and Gumby puts Buffalo on the board.
The chink in the armor finally, that first touch by Trust to put it up off his own backboard. Unfortunate placement as Gumby pushes in, and Trust not able to get back to it. I was just thinking before, though, you mentioned the third man challenge coming up in the offensive side from Washington. When Washington scored one of the goals in game number 1, that was how they did it. They had a 3-man push, and it worked for them in that situation, but not so much in this one.
It can be very dangerous as a third man if you don't hit that well on target or they get a good clear. That's every single player potentially that ball going past, so you have to be careful. Speaking of, Silk actually taps it by the defender. So hard to calm effectively at this speed, and that shows the miscommunication there. As Trust almost dunks Silk, but that will be another save. Under a minute to go, and the Rebellion still looking for a comeback here. JDab tap to the side off of the defender. Justifies up for it. Silk beats them to that, though, and Trust will try to tap that to the corner to gather, but it's going to bounce right back in the middle. JDab for the clear, but a lot of time ticking off. But now, actually, something might be open up here, but Deluxe, a brilliant save that's going to go all the way across for Justify to gather, but they're not going to be able to touch that one.
Critical touch there from Deluxe on that save, as it did result in saving that goal. There was a really good opportunity for Washington that was developing there.
Justify, it's a great follow. It's off the far post, and it's not going to go in. They can't react to that bounce, but JDab keeps it alive. It's still an awkward ball for Deluxe. Still gathers it and creates a great dunk that might have just sealed it, as Trust has no one around to pass it. One more for the road. It's just going to go wide. They can't keep it alive, and Buffalo ekes out a win, and we got a tied series.
And only one on this game was scored. And that is all you need. Defense stands strong for both of these teams, really. You see there, 8 saves coming out from Washington, a peppering on the offensive side from the Buffalo Bolts, and just they finally get the one to go. And, oh, man, what a game we just witnessed.
It's really hard to keep up with the amount of counters. It just seems like you mentioned, Washington is playing this very high risk, high reward style, but it seems like it's almost working so effectively that I don't even feel the need to have them change it, as long as the defense can hold kind of sturdy on the back end. I don't see any reason why they should change it. It's just that Buffalo, like of most teams at this level, if you give them that space, like that open contest from Gumby, he's just gonna bury it. It's right down the middle, but sometimes shots are just too fast to save. So now coming into game number 3, all tied up here. Which team can kind of push that needle onto their side, maybe make them some momentum for themselves? But it's really going to all come down to how these playstyles are going to develop as these teams continue to these series. And an open net to start things off.
Oh, and a great job here from Silk on the back line of the defense, noticing nobody's in net, going after Justify, who was the rotating third man, and just well done by Gumby, putting that one on frame. Good job to get Buffalo the lead early again.
And that's a rough rotation. I think there might have just been a gap there, and Gumby just happened to slide into that one. An open shot. It's just easy as you like. And now Washington gonna have to take a deep breath and regather themselves, and they're gonna have to do it quickly because Gumby's coming for another one. It's a great save by JDab coming across, and that will be depriving Buffalo of another one. JDab down the line. Pass back to Justify. No touch. No touch again. Justify just trying to play a little bit too quick. Deluxe is going to slow this one down. Try to play a 50 and does. Gumby one-on-one with Justify. Gets a flick, and it's a great save. And that will be another one that will be depriving Buffalo. Silk coming back, but it's a good save. And Washington really struggling here as Buffalo's starting to mount an attack. But finally, they get some breathing room and will be able to counter.
They finally cleared the zone as well. Buffalo had him buried for a bit there, as Justify is going to try to set this up for Washington to try to get the counter, but it's cleared out there by Gumby.
JDab cuts across it, decides not to take it across the goal. Maybe saw Deluxe lurking in the middle. Silk on the air dribble, buy some time for Deluxe, and now Washington will clear it across their own zone. Down the line, Gumby, high lob. No one on the back wall, they're just going to let it drop. Washington seeming a little bit more cautious ever since they gave up that first goal, but Buffalo certainly playing with a lot of confidence. They're spreading out quite a lot on these, but it doesn't matter if you just give it away. Uncontested off the backboard, Gumby will bury those, and it will be a second.
Gonna credit this goal to the boost steal that the Buffalo Bolts were going with. It just seemed time and time again that the Rebellion were without boost here, and Gumby just with a great double tap is gonna get that goal. That's gonna be a second for him here, and Buffalo is rolling.
And at this level, you just cannot allow that backboard to be that open. And like you said, that boost steal paying dividends. And now it's going to see if Washington can capitalize off some backboard play. Trust on the follow, but just not enough strength coming through that 50. And it's not going to be any offensive opportunity as all of Washington is getting back in Deluxe into the midfield. Has Gumby lurking in the middle. Gumby is there, and they get a great shot, but JDab again, a great goal line save.
Yeah, and that was a really good infield pass coming out for the Bolts. Again, their passing has been really, really good so far here in game number 3. Excuse me.
And now you start to see Buffalo coming out with some good passes. Deluxe to Gumby, and another one on Gumby on the follow again off the near post, and JDab with the flick clear. 6 shots coming in from Buffalo, all coming from Gumby so far. Only 1 from Washington. That really shows you the offensive flow of this game as Deluxe gets right off the bar and down.
Great job here, as Silk was looking for a touchdown to Deluxe anyway, and JDab just helped him out by keeping the variables to a minimum there. Deluxe with a great catch and a great flick, beating that last person back.
And it really seems like Washington are getting rattled by that early goal, and it just seems like the playstyle shifted completely. Buffalo's really settling into a very comfortable kind of movement around. They really haven't been stretched. Only 1 save being forced out from them. And right now, Washington's going to have to figure something out. Maybe, as you mentioned, looking for some more passing plays instead of going for these solos. Pressure works only so much.
Yeah, I mean, you can crack the defense with a good amount of pressure, but passing plays is the name of the game. You have teammates for a reason. If you're just looking to do it all by yourself, why don't you? I mean, you'd be playing ones at that point, and playing 1v3 is never a good option.
Certainly not, as Silk and Deluxe comboing for a little passing play of their own. Silk tucks it past a couple players, but not past Trust. Gumby in the middle for Deluxe. Deluxe, It's a great fake, gets past 1. JDab has to flip on it, and Deluxe gets the flip and will be able to get a 4th. What a patient play.
Great scoop and fake here by Deluxe, and the demo attempt from Gumby just throws JDab out of the play enough to get that ball on target. Man, Buffalo is on fire right now.
That's a fantastic play by Deluxe. hosted a ones tournament a while back, and that man wrecked a lot of opponents on his way to that championship. So certainly I know a player that has a lot of skill on that ball. And right now it seems like Buffalo starting to just trying to kind of crush down Washington with their boots as they're really trying to stat pad here. Silk is not content with 4. They're looking for more. Another tap to the far post. Gumby with another shot, but that's going to go wide. And right now, Washington really scrambling to get any ball past the midfield as Buffalo's going right back to that midfield pressure we saw in that first half of game 1.
Washington's kind of shelling up, it seems, a little bit here. Just going back to defense. It's almost like they don't feel comfortable with what Buffalo's throwing at him, and that was a good attempt for Gumby, but he's going to fake out Justify. And it just kind of goes to show you, once again, the offense is really strong from Buffalo, and there's another shot again. Holy cow, the defense from Washington has been strong, but not strong enough to stop this Buffalo squad.
And a miscommunication will give Deluxe his hat trick. An unfortunate turn of events, but not necessarily unexpected the way this momentum has been swinging.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was so much a fake or it was just a you got it, no, you got it, no, you got it situation. I mean, miscommunication, it could have been anything in that situation. 5-0 though. I would say 2-1 series advantage here for Buffalo off of this strong performance.
Yeah, and this is where the mental of competitive esports really comes in, because Silk getting a 6th goal for the Bolts with 36 seconds remaining. This win will put them on match point, assuming that they, of course, take this game and it's not a 30-second throw. But how do you come back from this walloping if you're Washington? You're really going to have to take, I would hope, that full 60 seconds, really take a deep breath and really just regather yourselves, because this right here is just getting real ugly real fast.
Clear your minds, one game at a time, I would say. I mean, they have played strong. They've shown strong performance with some passing plays, and they're finally starting to bring them out. But, I mean, passing would be a good start as well. We haven't really seen that many passing plays, and shooting-wise, they've only got 3 shots due to the Rebellion. I mean, that's half of the amount of shots of the number of goals that is scored by Buffalo here. So you got to get the balls onto the frame here, and that's just a start.
For sure, and there's going to be quite the journey now. Buffalo going on to match point, one more, and they're going to take it. And it's hard to root against them at this point, but a lot to clean up. And I just really seeing a decent amount of Washington. I think we're going to have to return to those talking points that we touched on earlier. Team plays from Washington. I would argue that they should be doing that more, but right now it just seems like they need to manage the boost a little bit more. There was periods where I felt like Buffalo had the ball in the Washington half for about 2 minutes at a time.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Boost management is really, really key at this level of play, and making sure that you at least have dimes to pick up at the very minimum. I mean, make a play defensively with a couple of boost pads in front of your net. You don't have to necessarily have 100 boosts. I mean, there was one chance that was scored on empty net from Gumby because 2 players went to the same corner boost on the far side, and you just can't have that. And kind of going back to that, Washington scored 2 goals in the first game. They've been held scoreless through the last 10 minutes of Rocket League.
Yeah, and it's going to have a little bit more time for actually to talk it over, because the server has actually gone down for maintenance. So we're going to have to throw you guys to a brief intermission. Hopefully Washington can use that to gather their thoughts, and we'll be right back with a decisive game 4, looking to see if we can take the series the distance or Buffalo is going to close it out. We'll be right back.
I don't wanna be like this. I don't
Welcome back, everybody. We have our server back. We have all the players in, and we're going to throw them right back onto the... And it's really... sitting here, Chaser, it's just such an interesting game to watch because you see a team get a win. It's a close win. It's 2-1. And then they come back and get another goal. It's just the next team comes back, answers back with a win. It's a one-goal game. And then you just get a walloping from Buffalo. What are you thinking if you're the Washington coach right now?
I mean, you just got to go back to what worked in game number 1. Passing plays, good pressure in the offensive zone, and strong defense. They were just on their back foot the whole game. And like we said before the break, you got to be able to manage the boost pads. That has been the key for Buffalo in the offensive zone. They've been managing those boost pads. And there's a chance right here. And Gumby is going to get the goal off a great pass from Deluxe.
Someone framed this and put it in a museum. A 3-person passing play coming out here. Silk to Deluxe to Gumby. No one home for the Rebellion. They're all split looking for boosts. And 15 seconds in, something about these early goals.
And I mean, didn't we just talk about passing plays right before the break as well? Washington needs to get back onto the passing way in order to get these goals. They got to do something here. They are on match point on the opposite side of where they want to be.
Certainly so. And now that ball rolling across, just no one has the speed for it. And Deluxe takes the air. Do they have another touch? It's going to be to the side from JDab. Justify. No pressure coming in there. JDab to the corner again. Has a little bit of time. Trust will try to take that line and will. Sends to the backboard. Gumby is ready for it, but actually doesn't get a touch. Deluxe is going to have to panic and clear that one out. Justify on the follow. Gets faked out a little bit. Might have been playing the touch from Silk, but that never came out. And now another roller into the corner. Washington at least getting a little bit more space to work with here from this Buffalo squad. And they're starting to take it as JDab cuts it around one. A tough angle. They're not getting it. Justify on the follow, and that's 1-1.
They finally get the pressure that they needed in that last game and finally get one in the back of the net after a solid 11 minutes without a goal. So good job on the tap off the back wall and Justify finding the empty spaces in the net.
And that's good pressure from Washington, being able to follow those quickly. That's what we mentioned in the earlier games, just sending players in quickly on the follow. Always super difficult to really counter if you are a defending team, especially at this level and this amount of speed where boost is so critical. But Buffalo's certainly not done. They got something to say about it, but JDab will deprive them of that answer. That will be saved to the corner, and Justify will get another one down the line. But Gumby again into the middle, but that's just going to be a giveaway. JDab's going to slap it down the line, and Washington looking a lot more composed, but it's also just Buffalo might just be cooling down. It's hard to replicate that offensive performance every game.
And here's a chance. Deluxe is going to go for the fake for a half a second. And oh my lord, Buffalo is just peppering the net. Finally, it goes in. And just pressure again is the result of the goal. I mean, they just keep giving and just taking every advantage they can. And it almost looked like Deluxe was about to save that shot coming in from Silk too. So well done from Buffalo. They get that lead back.
Yeah, and just that quick rotation. You saw the first shot come in, a good follow-up off the bar, and then the third comes in and just puts it on target. Doesn't always have to be a perfect shot. You just need to keep it on target. And now Buffalo is actually going to have to get all the way back on defense. Deluxe off their own backboard. JDab to the far post, but Deluxe waits for it and will be able to get the clear. Silk no touch. Justify off the bar. It's not going to be put in, but JDab ducks over the player. Another equalizer. We're not even at halftime.
Back and forth, the momentum is like a pendulum in this game so far. Both teams playing very well and not allowing that many mistakes, but this one is a big mistake if you are on the side of Buffalo. Unfortunate for them, they have been equalized.
And this is looking a lot more composed offensively from the Rebellion, as that one just barely sneaks by on the near post. Trust not converting that for the goal. Justify. Long clear on the far side. Gets another one. That's going to buy some time. That's a good clear because it will buy them a little bit of time and not straight to a Buffalo player. JDab off the pass from Trust, and Buffalo giving a lot more space. It seems like Washington's being a lot more efficient with taking it when they can, but they have to be careful not giving it away too easily. Silk almost puts a shot in, but that would be a long clear out.
There's a long rotation coming back on the third man from Washington, and they almost got it almost was capitalized on there by Buffalo. They will be thanking their lucky stars, the Rebellion, because they did not get scored on there. And there's a pass and a shot. Oh my lord, it goes in off of Gumby.
That's almost like a kind of a Z formation here because Gumby goes up, passes that in, Silk puts it right back, and then Gumby on the 1-2. A great passing play, and we'll get rewarded for that creativity. The lead here for Buffalo, 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining for the Rebellion to answer back, or else this series is over.
You know, we've gone from close defensive games turned into a blowout in the last one, and now we're seeing a back and forth match, as that's going to be a big clear off the backboard into the back of the net. Great job from JDab there. And it just, once again, the pattern sticks. Goal for Buffalo, goal for Washington. Back and forth, it's been 3-3 now. And if it continues, the next goal should go to Buffalo, right?
You'd have to think, but at this point, you really don't know. The hallmark of a great player is being able to score from any position when you're given the chance, and JDab certainly putting that away when he needs to. Now he can potentially do it again off the bar. The double tap, he doesn't get it. Justify backs him up for the fourth.
The pattern finally broken, and once again, you see the triple again from Washington. All three members of the Rebellion are in the front half, and oh my lord, the double tap just keeps Washington in it. They are, you know, a minute 45 away from sending this to a game 5.
And Whale in the chat calling out that 6-0 game was really just Washington playing for that game 5. So he certainly knows his friends there, but that passing play almost coming out. Washington playing with a lot of confidence now. Once you get a couple of goals past this Buffalo team, it seems like they really have the potential to keep it rolling, but they gotta be careful in the defensive half because Justify is in a very awkward position, but gets away with it. JDab on the counter, tries to tap it down, but it's just going to be a giveaway to Gumby. On the follow, Gumby waiting in the middle. High flick, Deluxe is there. Silk was demoed, so he's going to have to join the attack a little bit later, as Justify will take that down the sideline, but doesn't play for the 50 because that's going to be a demo. Very interesting player. The ball just sitting so much time here on the Washington half, and it's not out yet as Deluxe, another one across, but finally, JDab will put it to the sideline and be able to clear that.
In the 2-1 win for Washington, they did have a lot of defensive play in it, and Buffalo wasn't able to capitalize on just the amount of pressure that they had in that game. Kind of seeing a little bit of a mirroring image here in the later stages of this game number 4.
And almost a passing play in there. Gumby to the far post. It's a shot. It's off the far post. Justify to the sideline. That was almost an answer back, but 30 seconds remaining. Buffalo still has to get one more to bring this game even. In Washington playing some great defense so far. JDab, a great clear down the line. That's going to burn a lot of seconds off the clock as they go for the doomsday off the backboard, but it will be denied. 15 seconds remaining, and Washington just playing for possession.
And it will be noted there as well, Washington did that with very little boost on the defensive half with that flurry from Buffalo, and they're still attacking here. It's going to have to be a full court carry if Buffalo wants to tie this up. They have a chance! And oh my lord, a 0-second goal from the Bolts is going to send this to overtime in game 4.
Such an aggressive play. Trust coming up as last defender. Justify and JDab still coming back, and just no one back, but somehow Buffalo's all upfield. That could be a crucial mental moment for this team going into overtime. Can Washington bring it back and get this win that they just had snatched from their grasp?
That's going to weigh on you mentally if you're Washington as well. You had the game, and then a misplay on the defensive half from, I think it was Trust, you said, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so from that misplay from Trust, I mean, that's rough. You having that game in hand and give it away like that, you got to get it here to force that game 5.
Now Deluxe taking it down the line. This is a one-on-one with Justify. Justify gives him the near post and touches it weak. It's going to be a couple 50s coming in here as Gumby's trying to make something of it. Silk off the backboard. JDab with the long clear. I don't know if they have that follow. Deluxe will just slap it on target and Justify as the long clear for Silk to gather. It's going to just be a soft touch across the corner. Deluxe sends it all the way across. Gumby's not there for that. Justify, great read off the backboard. Trust is there, and it's met by Silk, and that's going to be turned away by the Buffalo defense yet again after a minute of play at OT.
A double commit there, and a bump attempt saved there by Gumby. JDab was looking for the physical play on the other end of the field this time in favor of Washington. We've seen it multiple times coming out from the Bolts already this series, as there is a demo from Gumby. And Washington was looking for it on their end, and there's a shot attempt. It's looking like it might be in. Oh, my lord, off the post.
And almost the dunk going all the way down. Good passing in there from Trust to Justify, but will be deprived. Trust on the half rotation. No touch from Silk. It's going to be tucked underneath. JDab, that's pass 2. Potentially pass 3. It's a good challenge. Justify, open net to the back post. We're going to game 5.
Oh, the heartbreak for the Bolts here as a challenge from JDab is good and strong on the chance from Deluxe. Washington save themselves from the mistake at the end of regulation and force that game number 5. My lord, what a game we just witnessed again.
And you have to feel for Trust there. He gives up that last second goal, but fittingly, they were winning at the end and they did get the win, but they have to be careful. And almost poetically, that last goal came from 2 players getting beat and the 3rd player getting dunked coming up. Deluxe played very aggressively, thought they could get that clear, and it just works out for Washington in that case. A great offensive performance. Look at those shot totals for this game. This series very much is a heavyweight bout that we're witnessing, and I would be super upset if we had anything else to settle it than going to game 5.
I mean, it's very, very fitting that this game goes to game 5. This series goes to game 5 because these 2 teams are I would say, one of the top dogs in their respective conference. You know, both of these teams from the Eastern Conference. I mean, we could be looking at a final in the Eastern Conference of these 2 teams later on in the season.
Yeah, and at this point, it's just shocking how many shots really are able to be fit in. You only feel like there's only so many you can really get at this level with the defense this good and the offense is this quick, but it's really just a shootout at this point, and it's all about who has more space on the ball and who can get those shots through the cracks in the defense. JDab trying to test the defense early with an air dribble, but nothing coming on that one. Justify can't get this one. Deluxe can't get it past JDab, though. And they'll take their time on the clear for Gumby to come in on. Trust, uncontested. Goes for the double tap. Not enough boost, but it's off the backboard. Deluxe. Long clear down, and JDab will get a good clear in. Justify, off the near post. JDab on the follow. Deluxe, Justify with a great 50, but Gumby will stand still. A good 2-person passing play, but Buffalo will hold strong.
A little bit of a risky challenge there at midfield by Trust, rather. And oh my lord, great save there from Justify. But as I was saying, a risky challenge coming in from Trust at midfield almost resulted in a counterattack goal for the Bolts. And this is going to be a counterattack the other way for the Rebellion.
JDab, pat yourself on the back. What a fake over the top. Cuts inside, draws the defender, and then lays it off to Justify to Barry. A great play by Washington, and that's the lead.
Holy cow.
So now we're going to have to see what Buffalo has up their sleeves. Deluxe goes for the flip reset, and that will not work out. Gumby to the ceiling again. Silk up for it. No touches coming in there. Now Trust. Long clear out. Deluxe not getting a touch. It's going to be a bunch of touches sitting all around here, but nothing coming out for Washington or Buffalo. Trying to slowly take it down. A great flick. Can Trust beat it out? They will be able to the far post, off their own post, to the far post. Silk might have saved that one, but I have no idea if that was it or not. I guess we'll never know. Still a 1-goal game, but it's not over yet. JDab, another save as Silk tries to keep it alive, but Washington finally gets a clear out.
From my view, it looked like that ball was going in, and Silk is going to be kicking himself. That was a goal to tie the game. And this is an all-important game 5. This is the last chance for either one of these teams to win the series and take home the coveted 2 points.
And now we will see a long clear coming out, but Trust cuts that out. It's a good, fast aerial, but Buffalo playing a little bit too cautious here. It doesn't seem like they're too close together, but I guess solo plays can still save the day, but Justify will be able to turn that one away. Deluxe, no contact. A lot of space in the midfield. Silk gives up a lot for Washington. Justify goes for a demo, but can't find anyone. Long clear goes all the way down. Deluxe in the middle. Gumby's there, but it's going to be shot and saved away by Washington again. Defense holding strong. We're at halftime. It's still a 1-goal game here.
A 2-for-1 bump there from Silk, and it's going to result in a goal here for Deluxe. I was watching this play and a good push, bumping Trust, and then following it up by getting the touch onto JDab. And just not able to get back was Trust, and my lord, great job from Buffalo to tie this game up.
And that was another reason, as if you needed more proof on why you should not let Deluxe dribble near your goal. But I didn't even see that 2-for-1 bump. What a play to bring us even here. And now with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining, it's really anybody's game as the shots continue to pile up for both squads. But that missed clear is going to open up something. Silk to the top shelf, but Justify, it's a great save up and out.
Great read there from Justify to get that save, noticing that it was going to hit that crossbar and then forcing it straight out. And a little bit of physical play coming out from Washington. They've seen it work for Buffalo. Now they're going to try to do it on their own side.
Cut out in the middle. Deluxe, actually another open dribble, but gets bumped instead. I think Washington learned their lesson. They're just going to go for the player, not the ball. At least then they have a little bit more control about where it's going to bounce. JDab up the line. Deluxe cuts that one out. Justify's gonna have to gather this one. Rebellion did not want to get pinned down again, but 2 players coming out of goal almost got chipped, but JDab comes in for the rescue. But Buffalo starting to speed it up just a little bit. A lot of touches coming in quickly. Silk in the middle. Nobody's there. Gumby dunks it, and that's the lead.
What a dunk from Gumby here. The touch from Justify going to that sidewall. Not able to get back to the net in time. And going to be put on a poster from that shot from Gumby.
And sometimes that's all you need. You just need to get body in there to make the save difficult. And sometimes you can turn it into a goal. But it's a great kickoff from Washington as that one bounces weird, but a great save by Deluxe to get that wall away. Trust down the line. Doesn't get the 50. JDab, high lob. It's just going to be a giveaway. Silk will be able to tap that high. Trust. Potentially going for a double here. It's going to go straight down. Can he get it? It doesn't matter. It goes in anyway. 2-2. A late equalizer.
And I thought this was going to be a bit of a miscue here when Justify jumped as well, but Trust pushing the pressure forward, and it looks like the ball may have gone in off of one of the Buffalo players. 60 seconds, tie game.
And sometimes that's all you need. Just put pressure on the ball, and sometimes you just force a mistake. But now Buffalo coming back down. Gumby gets the flip reset, but doesn't use it. Deluxe, the double tap off the corner. The pass back. Trust rushes it. Gets a dunk. It could bounce dangerous. It does. JDab is there, but it's saved off the line. Trust across the goal face, but Deluxe will take their time. Justify is just going to shadow the play. Does not want to dive in too early on Deluxe. One of the MVPs of Ramen last season. A great save across. Justify. No touch on this one. JDab with the time, but instead just blasts it all the way down.
Could have looked for a pass to the outside with an outlet pass, but chose for the shot instead. Maybe a little bit of a mistake there. Could have had a good opportunity for the Rebellion.
Now all of Buffalo's turtle up into their half, but there's only 10 seconds remaining. Can we be looking at an overtime? They have to get back on the save, and they can't. Deluxe with 4 seconds to go might have just stolen it.
We saw the late goal in the last game scored by Buffalo to send it to overtime. This could be the nail in the coffin for the series. My lord, just a big runner going the other way. 4 seconds.
Can we see some last-second heroics? It's going to take something magical. A ball in the middle. Trust gets up for it, but that's cut out. Justify. Back on the boost. Can't touch it too well. Silk is up. Goes for the double. Touches it down. It's still up, though, off the sideline. Deluxe down and spikes it. And unfortunately, all those heroics will go for naught for Washington. Buffalo closes it out. But what a series we just witnessed.
I mean, that was probably top 5 on series that I've seen in United Rogues. So definitely well played from both of these teams. No hanging your head down if you're Washington. You put this tough Buffalo squad on the ropes, sent them to a game 5, almost took it back to an overtime in game 5. Just a little bit of unfortunate rotations within the final seconds of it. And man, oh man, Buffalo with that 3-2 win in the game and the series.
And so Washington will not be walking away empty-handed the way the matches work here in United Rogue. If the game goes to game 5, losing team still gets a point, but it's definitely a gap in points that's going to sting. They were so close, but if you're going to lose to a team, you might as well lose to the second power-end team in the entire league. A great series, but a fantastic way to start off the broadcast here in week 1 because we got some more games coming up, but Chaser, you and I are done here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to make way in the caster's booth for Deli and Lee Algebra Cow. Or Lee. How does he pronounce it? Lee?
Lee.
I don't know. Lee Algebra Cow. Okay, we're going to be leaving the booth for them. They're going to have the Phoenix Thunder, who are ranked at number 3 in the power rankings going up against the Los Angeles Griffins. So stay tuned, guys. We'll see you next time.